Yes, guys, we're here. First episode, finally, of Product of Your Environment. If you watched my last video, you would have seen that I have a special guest on today to talk to you about his story of becoming a PT and the benefits of fitness and nutrition in life in general, and especially during a lockdown. So, a big warm welcome to Chris Van Nava.
Yes, Rico, what's happening? Are you good?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
Anytime. How's lockdown been for you so far?
Yeah, I'm actually isolating at the moment because my girlfriend got COVID, so it's
Oh
been
no.
yeah. But the isolation, I think it's day 7 now.
Yeah.
It's been pretty tough to be fair, but just got to get on with it like everyone else. So, but positive mindset, got to keep it going.
Of course. Feeling locked up then?
What's that?
Feeling locked up?
Locked up, yeah, locked up, but all good, all good. A few more days and I'm out.
Yeah. Let's get straight into it. So I understand. Well, obviously, for the people that don't know you, I understand you have a bit of a footballing background. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, for sure. So my entrance into the health and fitness world was from a very young age. So I started playing football as a kid. That was kind of my main passion. I wanted to become a professional footballer. That's all I kind of done when I was a kid growing up. Managed to get myself to a decent, half decent level when I was at 15, 16. Started playing for Barnet. Played for their under 18s and then moved to Stevenage under 18s. Played reserves team football and one game for the first team. This was when I was about 17, 18, and then after that had a really bad injury, broke my ankle, and then after that I had multiple injuries and couldn't get back to the standard where I wanted to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was my background. So as a kid, that's all I ever done was play football, and that was kind of my entrance into health and fitness.
Injuries. One thing for me on my experiences of injuries, I think mentally they're a very hard thing to especially like, for example, when I first signed for Barnet, so we both played for Barnet obviously at different times, but I've just fitted into the group, made my friend, made my bonds with this new squad that obviously it's all new to me. And I remember tearing my rec fem, which is obviously like quite a bad injury, and I was out for a couple months, and you
Yeah.
come back after your injury, and it's almost like not a different group, but there's stronger bonds. Like the dynamics changed a bit. You know, like how did you? What was it like with injuries for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does change things, doesn't it? I mean, before that, I never really had major injuries, and that when I had that injury it was at a crucial time. It was just before they started signing the youth up for like pro contracts and everything like that. And I'm not obviously blaming the injury, but there's probably multiple factors that led to me not getting to where I want to get to in terms of football. But yeah, it does get you mentally for sure, especially at a young age when that's all you dream of, and you spend every day playing football all your life. You think you're going to be a footballer, and then one day just gets taken away from you because of an injury or whatever it may be. It is mentally tough, especially at a young age. Yeah, for sure.
So while you were doing all that with football, were you balancing education with it at the same time, or like what was your background with education?
Yeah, so I was playing with Stevenage when I was at sixth form.
Yeah.
And then that was and then I started playing semi-pro football after that, and then I kept getting other injuries, hamstring injuries and ankle injuries, and it just after that I realised, you know what, football's not going to work out for me. So I decided to go to Middlesex University, study sports science as an undergrad. So I spent 3 years there studying sports science, strength and conditioning. Done really well, passed it, got a first, and then I done my masters in strength and conditioning. So I realised quite early on that football wasn't going to work out for me. So I quickly made that switch to kind of the sports science research and the education route kind of thing.
So I'm guessing that studying sports science and strength and conditioning as well did benefit like your career now as a PT, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it definitely, because it opened up doors as well. So I gained a lot of knowledge as well, which most PTs won't get. A lot of PTs will just go on a 6-week course, get qualified, and that's it. Whereas I studied for 4 years, so 3 years undergrad, an extra year master's degree. So you go in a lot more in depth with that. And it's a great experience as well going to uni. And that opened doors for me as well, which led to my internship at QPR Football Club as well.
Tell us a bit about that. So, what was it like working at QPR? Like, what did you do there?
Yeah, I'll rewind a bit just so people know
Yeah.
how I got there as well. So just give people an idea. So this was when I was in my final year at uni. I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. I thought I wanted to get into PE teaching. I went and done some PE teaching, and I just thought, you know what, the only sport I like is football. I don't really want to be teaching cricket and all these other sports I don't really like. And I had a massive passion for training myself in the gym and training others. So I was training a lot of my friends. I was training myself a lot, and I picked up a passion in strength and conditioning. And then I found out that QPR Football Club were coming to do all their like sports science testing, pre-season testing at Middlesex University. So I volunteered to help out, do their testing, their pre-season testing. Got to know a few of the staff and that. And then a few weeks later, everyone got an email saying there was an opportunity at QPR. So yeah, I applied for it. Got in for the interview, and there was 3 roles. So one with the first team, one with the under 23s, and one with the academy. And they wanted me for the first team because I had that footballing experience. So they wanted me there with the first team, and also I was helping out at the academy as well. But it all kind of worked out how like had my footballing background, went to uni, studied sports science, and now opportunity volunteering to help out the sports science department. So it never just happened just like that. I got myself out, and I thought I apply and get in through that route.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, obviously that's a big achievement, like especially if there were other people sent applications as well for the same job, right?
Yeah, there was I think they said over 100 for it.
Yeah.
So but I think, go on.
Yeah, what did you learn from being there, being around players in the first team? Obviously, first team is a different environment to the academy system as well, and like you must have met some people there, and yeah, just touch on that for us.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I remember the first day walking in, and then you had all these kind of big time players, and this was at a time when QPR were signing quite big players. Had Harry Redknapp as manager, some big names like you had obviously Bobby Zamora, you had Bosingwa, Ji-Sung Park there at the same time, Sean Wright Phillips. There's loads of big players that have made it in the Premiership. So it was quite surreal over the first couple of days. Julio Cesar, the Brazil #1. Yeah. He was, so you're a keeper, you probably know him really well. At the time, he was there. So it was really surreal. But then after a couple of days, you get to know them, and they're just normal people. And you get to know them, and you work with them on a daily basis. And it was an amazing experience. But I went in as an intern, right? So you don't just go in as a strength and conditioning coach from uni straight as a strength and conditioning coach. I was an intern, so I was doing all the kind of like boring jobs and the jobs that you don't really want to do, but it's you've got to do it because you're an intern, right? So yeah, exactly. All start somewhere. So I was basically the person that was making all the protein shakes, the water boy. I was the linesman, getting a lot of stick on the side. Obviously helping out in the gym, helping out outside as well, doing the sports science testing. So it was just a mixed bag, but it was an amazing experience, which I'm very grateful for.
So moving on from that, like obviously you met people at QPR that helped you almost along the way in the future with your business now, where you're still in contact with them, still helping them. So like just touch on that and the story behind ADC and how it's evolved.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, the way I wanted to get a full-time job at QPR, and after the year, I gave it everything I had to try and get that full-time job. So I was turning up 7 a.m., leaving 9, 10 o'clock at night. But unfortunately, I never had a job there for me. So I was pretty devastated at the end of it, because that's at that time how old was I? I was 22, I think I was. Yeah, I was 22, and that's all I really wanted to do, because it was an amazing experience, and I could see myself being a strength and conditioning coach there. But they didn't offer it to me. So at that time, I was devastated. I remember sitting in my car. I was crying. I was like, yeah, in a bad place, because it was something that I really wanted to do at that time. And I had a few personal issues at that time as well, like relationships, etc. So I just thought it was the best thing at that time to go and travel. So I went and travelled for 8 months. I went to Australia, Southeast Asia, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. And whilst I was traveling, I was reading quite a lot of like business books and fitness related books. And when I was traveling, I gained a lot of freedom. And that's kind of why I wanted to set up ADC, was to kind of live life on my own terms and make a difference as well with my company. So that's how it all started. It all came to me when I was traveling, and I gained that clarity when I was traveling. That's what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to go back into football after that. Yeah.
So obviously on this show, like, as the topic being products of your environment, and like talking about how everything happens for a reason, do you think that if there was a job at QPR then and you took it, do you think you'd still be there now and you wouldn't have set up your own gym and personal training business?
It's a tough one. I don't think I'd still be there. The reason being is that there's a lot of politics in football. So as a strength and conditioning coach, that's what I would have wanted to be at QPR, strength and conditioning coach. There's a lot of politics, so you get physios who have their say as well. And if the manager doesn't buy into the strength training or the conditioning side of things, then your job's not really, it's kind of pointless if they don't buy into it. Also, you've got player politics as well. So if you have a player that's been in the Premier League for the last 10 years and they've never been into the gym, and some intern turns up at like 19, 20, goes, "I'll come into the gym, this is going to be really beneficial for you," they're going to turn around, look at you, be like I've made it, I don't need you, kind of thing. So there's a lot of politics involved in football, which I weren't aware of until I stepped in that environment. So yeah, no, I wouldn't want that any other way. So I'm actually glad that I didn't get taken on at QPR, and I had the experience of traveling and setting up ADC. Yeah. So I think everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. And
yeah,
like, speaking about that again, how you said, you're upset about not getting the job there, at such a young age as well, after you're traveling, starting up your own business. How did you feel about doing that, and did you have any support or anyone you thought, what, I look up to them, or thought, or took inspiration from?
Do I have any? So no, not really, to be honest. I was just, when I was traveling, I just gained that clarity. I was like, I'll tell you, there's some good books. So like Rich Dad, Poor Dad was a good book that I read. And it was, for me, it's just, when I was traveling, it was just about that freedom. Yeah. And when you're working like for someone else, or working at a football club, maybe, you don't have that freedom. Whereas when you've got your own business, obviously it's hard work. There's like, you're working day and night from 6 o'clock to like 10 o'clock some days, but it's you've got a purpose, right? And you can create freedom at the same time as well. In terms of inspiration, no, I mean, I just read books when I was traveling, and and I started my business when I was 23, so I was very young. I didn't have any support. I started in my parents' garage, and just turned it into a gym. Came back from traveling, didn't really have much money because I spent most of it whilst I was traveling. Yeah. And didn't have any support whatsoever. I just had a couple of grand in my bank account, and just started from there, and just got myself out there and started pushing it. And I was very laser focused at a young age, which I'm very kind of grateful that I put the graft in for and set me up to where I am today.
I mean, I think that me asking you about inspiration, where like people that are going to hear this video, and obviously I'm going to put some photos up of like where you started and the gym you're in now and the facilities and everything you're doing now. I think you're an inspiration to people because you've come a long way. You know, you've done a lot of good things, and yeah, that's just something I thought I should say.
Yeah.
But um, especially now in a global pandemic, a lockdown,
Yeah.
how important is fitness, both mentally and physically?
It's health and fitness is vital. It's crucial. It's the number one thing right now, isn't it? So it's the survival of the fittest. So what I'd say to anyone is just make sure you focus on your health, make sure you focus on your fitness. And at the moment, fitness seems to be the only escapism people do have. So everyone's locked up at home now. They're either working or studying or wherever it may be, but they don't have any escapism. They can't go out to the gym. They can't go play sport. They can't do anything really. You can go for a little walk if you want, but exercise is probably the only thing you can do to create that escapism. So it's vital for your mental health, vital for your physical health as well, and highly encourage it to everyone. Everyone needs to be doing it, especially right now more than ever.
100%. So the big question: are abs really made in the kitchen? When it comes to nutrition, we've spoken a bit about fitness, but when it comes to nutrition, how important is balanced diet and getting the right nutrients in your body?
Yeah, no, abs are made in the kitchen, 100%. Obviously, you do need to do some sort of training or exercise as well. But I know loads of people that train 5-6 times a week, but then they don't eat great and they eat loads of calories on a daily basis and they don't drop body fat. So yeah, you need to focus on nutrition. Nutrition's really important. So yeah, if you are looking to get abs, the main ingredient is to be in a calorie deficit. So you're burning more calories than you're eating. And to do that, you obviously need to be exercising, moving more than you're basically eating, and then that's how you're going to get those abs to be visible, really. So yeah, it's important for sure.
On the other side of that, you've actually had experience bodybuilding, right?
Yeah, I would say fitness. It was a fitness model competition. Yeah, similar to bodybuilding, but not as extreme.
Yeah. So would that be on the other side of gaining weight, or was that still losing?
No, that was basically getting as ripped as possible. So losing body fat, but getting as lean as possible.
Yeah.
So I've done those competitions. So I'll rewind a bit. The reason why I went into those competitions. So people probably look at it like, I've done these competitions for vanity or whatever it may be, but it wasn't. It was mainly just to build exposure for my business, really, and myself. And this was in the first, when was it? It was about 3-4 months into when I set up ADC. I was like, I need to get some more exposure because no one really knows about me or ADC. And then so I started dieting and training for a fitness model competition. And then after 4 months training intensely and dieting, I done the fitness model competition, done 2 of them. And then the best thing that I got out of it was bumping into Bobby Zamora at the end of it. So he was actually there backstage because I think it was his mate's girlfriend was competing at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously I knew him through QPR. And because we knew each other, he was retiring at the same time. And then I was like, "What are you doing here, Bob?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm just checking out my friend and my friend's girlfriend because they're competing. I'm just supporting them." And I said to him, like, "What were you up to now?" He goes, "I'm going to retire soon." And he goes, "I might need a PT." So he goes, "I'll get in touch." And I didn't really think much of it. And then a few weeks later, he sent me a DM and goes, "Oh, Chris, I need a PT now. I'm retiring soon." And then he would then got in touch with him, and then he was my first kind of footballer on the books at ADC, and that's kind of how it grew, how I grew my footballers and ex-footballers client base. But yeah, and going back to the competition, that's something that I've done to kind of create the exposure for ADC and myself. But I wouldn't recommend it to anyone because if you see the pictures of me back then, I had no face. my body fat went down to 4.1%, I think it was, and I could barely even move because I had no energy whatsoever, starving all the time. I was hungry, I was moody. It's just, yeah, not something I would advise to anyone, and it's not healthy as well. Getting your body fat to that low percentage is not healthy because you need body fat to obviously live and survive and for energy, you know.
Yeah, of course. So, is there anything in your career that you would have done differently if you could go back, and what would you do?
For me, it's about living life. You know, I think it's having the best experiences possible, and I gained that through traveling. And obviously, this whole scenario being locked up at home, you can't go anywhere. I think it just emphasizes it a lot more about it's all about experiences, and life is very short. So if I could go back, I probably would maybe go to a different uni, maybe go abroad to uni, maybe like America, somewhere else. You know, just and probably would have travelled a little bit longer than what I'd done. I'd done 8 months, which was 8 months. Yeah, 8 months it was. Probably would have travelled a little bit longer before I started my business. Yeah, and I probably would say going back now, if I knew what was gonna happen in terms of the whole COVID situation, was maybe just set up an online business, because that way I can go and move. I could take that online business anywhere I want with me. Whereas at the moment, my business is predominantly based in North London, which I love. I've got an amazing community. I've got amazing clients, staff. But obviously, there's a lot of restrictions right now with the business. So online's definitely the way forward with everything, really, especially with everything going on right now. So I probably would, if going back, probably would change that. So travel more, maybe study abroad, and maybe create an online business so that you have more freedom to move about. And yeah,
Perfect.
That's probably what I'd
say. Before we finish off here, thank you very much. Is there anything you want to know? Anything you want to speak to me about?
Yeah, and I think speak to me a little bit more about what your intentions are with the podcast. I think it's good what you're doing. It's definitely getting people on the show, get some inspiration from people. So yeah, what's your main aims of it?
So
first episode.
For me, I've actually realized that if you want to pursue something, you've got to do what you have to do it. Whether that's cutting off people that are holding you back, like bad influences around you, because you become the people you're around, right? And
yeah, 100%.
I think whether that's even studying, if you're with the group of people that are in the library all day studying, you're gonna become like them. You know, you're gonna get in that routine of, oh yeah, education is very important. And then if it's for me, I've always loved football, but the main reason I wanted to get into it more professionally and seriously is because at my old school, my football team was amazing. We had boys at Arsenal, QPR, Norwich, Barnet, West Ham, and being around all these players that are all in the academy system now, it just pushed me to be like, I came home one day and said to my dad, oh, I want to take this more seriously. Like, I see my friends, they're coming all their new kits, they're enjoying it, I enjoy it. Why not actually go try it? Why not actually go pursue something? And I think that whoever it is in today's society, speaking on careers and professions, how did they get to where they got and what it takes is important. Because I think a lot of people know they might have to do certain things to get where they want to get to.
Yeah. So, that's a good, it's an amazing thing you're doing, especially product of your own environment. So like you said, being around those players, and it just lifts you, doesn't it? And it brings you to another level, right? So I can give you a scenario for that as well. Like when I was finishing school, my close mates at school, all they ever wanted to do every week was just chill at each other's houses and smoke weed, basically. Yeah. So I had to make the decision, you know what, I was friends with them at school, but I'm gonna have to separate myself from them, because that's not what I want to be like. I want to take myself to up there, and they're down here, and they are dragging me down.
That's
I still speak to them. I still speak to them today, but they're not my close. They're not my close mates anymore. So it's definitely product of your own environment. Is key, isn't it? So wherever you want to be in life, you've got to surround yourself with the right people
I
to
think
get you
yeah,
there.
that's the difference. And obviously personal development, all that like act of maturity that you did, maybe if you didn't do it, you don't know you would be in the good situation you are in now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's just a bit about
Yeah,
my
that's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to
yeah.
listening to the other ones as well.
So yeah, I'll have a lot of more topics to talk about.
Yeah,
I hope everyone enjoyed this video, Chris. I always enjoy talking to you.
yeah, always a
Hopefully,
pleasure, Rico.
hopefully, maybe when Corona allows, we can do a little part two physically together.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you very much for coming on. Stay safe, Chris. Stay safe, you guys listening, and make sure you subscribe and share. See you later.
thanks, Rico. Appreciate it, mate. See you later, everyone. Take care.